Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Alex, aka Poly Monster, as in Polygon Monster, because I love polygons. Well, actually triangles, but they're a polygon as well. So today I'm back on working on my music app, Dig, well, specifically on Scraper for Phonica Records. I kind of talked through the overview of this, so this time I'm going to try and just get into the coding because I got hung up last time on how to actually get the HTML from this in code. So I have a Python script. It uses Selenium WebDriver, and then it makes a headless driver and can basically execute the script to get the HTML, and that can be printed into the console. It's a little bit slow, but there we go. This is all of the HTML, and in developer mode, you can also find all of this. So I was using this to kind of navigate it, basically, and then because it can highlight the parts of the page, and essentially what I'm trying to do now is find areas of interest. So this one, yep, they're in there somewhere. Here's all of these. Archive. So archive products, the div class archive products is of interest. Let's see how, and specifically then the archive grid view, and then it drills down into these product placeholders. So I've already been having a look at this. I've got an idea. I care about archive products, product placeholders, and then also you can find out. So in here there should be MP3 files. Let's see. Right. Okay. So you see these that are like these are OGs, which is actually that's the audio, and these are PNGs. These are like hash numbers. So need to figure out how to find those. And I had a look, and I was in luck because if you go on to the releases page. In the HTML of this, the MP3 file can be found. So that's important to be able to map the MP3 hash to the record. In some record stores, it's not as clear. You can't find the MP3 in the HTML. So this is good. But I will get into that because the first thing I need to do is what I'm going to do is write a function which basically caches this HTML. So when I'm continually running this code, I'm not having to continually make the web request. That will speed it up a bit, but also it'll just save me on hammering the website and kind of being, identified as a potentially malicious actor. So first thing to do is the main homepage of Phonica we care about. And I'm just going to cache that to disk, and then that's going to actually be a bit better to look at it and inspect the elements as well, because it's not very nice viewing it in the terminal, and in the developer mode in Edge, it's okay, but because it's nested, you're having to go through it. I just want to be able to find, search for things inside there. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. Right, so here I've added a thing that caches a page. So then I care about, I should probably just add a check for if it exists. Time being, I should just cache them to disk. It's going to make 2 requests. Should have written them out somewhere. Okay, yep. So we've dumped out Phonica HTML and Phonica product.html. So here we go. Right, this is just a bit easier to inspect it now. And then archive. The things I care about was archive products, this one, and then archive grid view home category 6. This was the particular, this is the essentials page. This might differ. Actually, I think, to be honest, scraping essentials. That was the one I wanted, not the Phonica homepage. So I call that one Phonica products. I'm assuming the kind of product ones are going to kind of take the same structure. So product and products, and now it's reached the end. So the first one is products, and then archive product, and then this thing, archive grid view home category 6. So these are the things I'm firstly interested in, and then as this drills down, we get into an array of, well, it's not an array, but whatever it is, it's a there's series of them of product details, and then you have archive artist, archive title, archive label. This is the artist name in the body, and I have some functions that can already basically kind of parse this information from the HTML. So the next thing I need to do is to actually get that HTML and then find the products and then iterate over them and so forth. Products is products HTML, and then we're going to parse the div of that actually. Okay. So I have these helper functions. So I have these helper functions like find parse element, parse body, parse nested body, parse div. These can essentially find elements in the HTML and give you back a list or something of an array of products and that kind of thing. So I've just hooked that in to Phonica. So the products is a list of products, and let's print that one out. Right, let's see. So now I've just hooked up, so this find and parse element can parse the AID equals part, which is these bits. And then the body of that is what we care about, and there's another function that I have which can do that. Okay, so here we go. Here's all the things we care about. So I know Bushwhacker is an artist, Louis Vega's an artist, Burial's an artist. I can see the artist names quite clearly. Should be seeing label names. Okay, this is the title of the release. So I have these information now. The next thing to do is once I've got, I'll just use Juno as a reference. So do find parse element, and then parse nested body. Is it the parse body? Find parse ID element. Artist element, and then parse body gets you the thing. So I need to kind of start doing this behavior. I'm going to start getting this into a dictionary because that's how it's stored, and that is JSON. So let's see if we can just start getting a releases. Is going to be a dict. So we make a dict of releases, and then do I have schema? Yes, a release. So this is the release. We basically want to implement all of this information for each of the releases in here. So far, I've managed to find the artist name, the title of the release, the label name, and the link for the release. That's going to be important to us. And store, we can already fill this out. So there's some stuff we can start filling out. And then once I've built up the JSON, then when it prints it, it should just look a bit nicer, a bit more nicely formatted, and things should be clearer what's going on. So the next thing to do is just to kind of start filling that out. Right, so I've sort of implemented those bits to get the info and put it into a dictionary. So let's see if it works. Okay. Links working. Artist has not worked. The artist element. Link has. Inner lakes. They've got a lot of formatting and white space in there. Yeah, so the data is just in a slightly different order than I expected, and I just need to make sure, essentially, these AID ones are sequential. Maybe I can find it out. Products. So the first thing is the product link. The second is the artist. Right, so I managed to get the label correct, the artist correct, the link, the title is not correct, and that contains the artwork. So I just need to figure out the second one. It's nested inside the artwork, the title. So we have image. Oh, no, it's nested inside the product link. Right, okay, I managed to find it. So basically, the product link element looks like this, and it has the product link, and then inside that it has a span class which has the title name. So in order to do that, when parsing the product link element, I then have to further parse inside that to find that span, and then get the body of the title element to get the string. So now, aside from a little bit of unnecessary white space in there, I have some nice information about all of these releases. What I'm going to do next is just there's interesting Unicode characters in there, which should work, actually. I think Unicode does work in there. Let me check one of my other ones. Yep, they're fine to keep the Unicode chars in. They do work. Some of them might not have glyphs, but I do have an extended glyph set which should support some of the common ones. Yeah, I remember now. I did actually it will render question marks for missing characters, so I have spent some time to try and kind of cover most of the common ones. Okay, so the next thing to do is let's strip off the white space off the ends of these. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Right, so now we've got them without the padded white space. So the next thing to do really is to find out the we need to find out the media for this, the images and the MP3s. That information is in the product page in an individual product, and we can go into here, which is, I cached it earlier. We can search for .mp3. And then we can get the track names as well. So we get the track name and the MP3, which is perfect. And that goes into, where is the release? So we have artworks, track names, track URLs, catalog number is something we haven't got yet as well, but that's fine. So what I think I'll do, I'm going to I need to think about how to structure this. This is essentially the code to parse a page of products, and then there's going to be another function which will parse the detail of those products. Right, I've set myself a little function up, which is scrape product. It gets the release passed in, and then that's going to fill out more information. The reason I'm thinking of it this way is that I might want to decouple the updating of this information versus the MP3s, because sometimes once you re-scrape, you might already have the item, and the only things you need to update are, is it in stock, or those kind of more store related issues. Once you've got the MP3s, they're not going to change, and that helps to make the scraping quick, and it also helps you to not be detected, because if you just always caching all these pages, so this won't have to happen every time. It'll just only have to happen the first time. What I need to do though is I need to find out where the things are that I care about. So we care about span class, archive playlist. Essentially, we care about this. Okay, interesting. It's managed to find one. So the problem here is that some of these functions are quite naive. They're just like implemented, quite basically just doing what I need when I need them to. This is like a nested span where it's not parsing the whole thing. It's only parsing to the end of the first span. So what I want to be able to do is parse a nested group, which is going to have to then track the this is going to have to be pushed and popped. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a new function. I'm not going to extend this one because this one's being used in other places. I'll make a new one, which is find parse nested element, and then that should be able to give me the whole thing. So what I'm doing here is searching for a start string and an end string, an opening and closing span. And if one opens before one closes, that means we're nested, so we have to continue. And then only when the end one is first do we actually break. I think this should work. Right, I managed to get it. So I have found span class playlist, and then 4 returning ones. I think that should just go like this as well. it ends the span. The formatting's not great, but there we go. Okay, so that was actually a bit quicker than I thought. Sometimes with the, did it with a infinite loop and then a break when the condition's true that the end span is found before an opening span. I think that should be fine. Other ways I could have done it, but this is kind of how I've been working through this, just kind of adding things in an ad hoc way. It's kind of fun, little problem solving kind of coding puzzle kind of things to add these. So that's why I've been finding it enjoyable. Now there's a question here whether I return these into an array, but I think that that might be better, because at this point I actually know, and I know how many there are then. Although I can use this existing function just to do this and then offset. So in this case, I know there's 4 of them inside. What I don't know is what happens. Well, I've done pretty well actually. Managed to get all of the MP3 links. There's a bit of these extra junk spans in the titles, but that's fine. I can just do. I know how to parse body. Should kind of understand that that's part of the body, but beautiful. So that's managed to get all the track names and the MP3 links from that single page that I was scraping. The only remaining things are now, let's see, on here. I should probably put that in the dictionary actually. Okay, cool. So they're now in the dictionary. This is just dummy data at the moment. So we're just missing a few bits and pieces. An ID, this is the store specific thing. Got the link, got the artist title, got the label, don't have the label link or the catalog number. Label link, catalog number, ID. I've got track names. I need to get artworks. And then these are like extra store tags. So I'll see what I can do now. I'm probably going to wrap this up. I was pretty happy with this progress. So it's been like a couple of hours coding this morning. And then I've got to put this video together to stick it onto YouTube as well. So let's see where we are. Oh, we need ID. ID. Label link. Isn't necessary. Catalog number. Artworks. Store tags. So probably might leave it there for now. These are things that's still to do. Artworks are on both of the pages, but I was thinking there might be. Did they use JPEGs? They interestingly have this JSON there at the top. That has availability in stock. This is the URL, right? Prescriptions volume 2. Yeah. So we can find in this little JSON, is it JSON? I think it's JSON. They've got the URL. They also have in stock info. So that'll be the thing I get onto next, basically. I'll leave it here. I'll put this video together. So what do we have? The start of most of the data. Next time, I'll finish up the other data, and then the next process is having to automate the scraper, having so it runs, having so it goes through all of the content, adding kind of some logic to it so it doesn't have to keep continually scraping the MP3s once it's already got it. The nightly scrape just needs to check if it's in stock and those kind of things. So hopefully that will give an insight into what I would call ethical scraping. But anyway, I'm going to leave it here now. Have a good one. It's Saturday. I'm hungover and I'm going to go boozing tonight again. Bye.